Now at 5, Governor Holcomb expresses optimism about the coronavirus situation in Indiana. The key facts and statistics he's pointing to.
A new approach to curbing gun violence in the city by interrupting it. We take a closer look at how this plan is expected to work.
It's a big day here at Southside Elementary School of Communications. We've got a big surprise for these kids. We're going to head inside.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
We begin tonight with an optimistic tone from the State House. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. And while that optimism is cloaked in caution, state officials are pleased with some positive trends in the state's battle against the pandemic. Governor Holcomb today said he's encouraged by the number of people vaccinated so far. And he says the number of cases are slowly starting to trend downward. He also discussed the number of testing sites that have grown from just 5 statewide to a total of 189.
There's different approaches out there for sure, but I'm really pleased that our very methodical kind of maybe under promise, over deliver approach, making sure that we're not over promising, that the expectations are aligned with actually the results that are occurring. This approach is making not just sense, but it's effective.
Governor Holcomb says the state's positivity rate is 10.8%, the lowest that they've seen in several weeks. And hospital admissions have also dropped. Officials today also announced the next group of Hoosiers who will be eligible for the vaccine, the age group 65 to 70. However, there is no timeline on when that phase will take effect. We are seeing a positive change in this week's county map. Only 34 counties are now in red. That's down from 73 last week. Many central Indiana counties, including Marion, Hancock, and Hamilton, are among those that are improved to orange. Johnson and Hendricks counties remain in the highest risk status, but for the first time in weeks, there is a county in yellow, and that's Jay County. Yellow indicates the second lowest level of spread. The number of Hoosiers receiving the COVID-19 vaccination continues to increase by the thousands daily. As of this morning, the state reported more than 362,400 Hoosiers had received their first dose, and more than 87,500 are now fully vaccinated. That's an increase of more than 7,600 fully vaccinated people since yesterday. Remember, those 70 and older can register to get the shot at ourshot.in.gov or by calling 211. And if a fear of needles is preventing you from taking this step, later in the show, we'll get some advice from a doctor about how to conquer that fear.
And for the first time since Sunday, the state is reporting new positive cases above 3,000 again. They have been ticking up since Tuesday, and today crossed the 3,000 threshold again at 3,733. Those were all reported yesterday. Newly reported deaths of people with COVID are about the same, 64 today, 62 yesterday. The ones reported today occurred between December 22nd and yesterday. The statewide total now tops 9,200.
President Biden is making combating the coronavirus and delivering financial relief the primary focus of his first full day in office. He signed more executive actions to speed up the process. ABC's Alex Prochet reports.
President Joe Biden spending his first full day in office focused on tackling the health and economic challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic.
Our national strategy is comprehensive. It's based on science, not politics. It's based on truth, not denial, and it's detailed.
Biden signing 10 executive actions, including triggering the Defense Production Act to make COVID-19 supplies, requiring masks at airports, and requiring international travelers show proof of a negative COVID test before arriving stateside. He also aims to establish a testing board. These plans come on the heels of Biden having the U.S. rejoin the World Health Organization.
I know these bold, practical steps will not come cheaply, but failing to do so will cost us so much more dearly.
Meanwhile, in the new democratically controlled Senate,
the first order of business is to advise and consent on the president's appointments to his cabinet.
So far, only one member of Biden's cabinet, his choice to be the Director of National Intelligence, has received Senate confirmation. The Republican minority leader seizing on Biden's invitation for unity.
So our side is ready to share ideas and work with the Biden administration.
But also criticizing the new president for using executive orders to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord and cancel the Keystone XL pipeline.
On the Biden administration's very first day, it took several big steps in the wrong direction.
President Biden will need cooperation from Republicans in the House and Senate going forward, especially for initiatives like his massive $1.9 trillion economic rescue package. Democrats hold a majority in the Senate only through a tie-breaking vote of Vice President Kamala Harris, so getting that relief bill passed won't be easy. And the second impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump for inciting the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill could start any day.
The question is, are there questions about how a trial will proceed? But we are ready.
Democrats don't want the trial to slow down their legislative agenda. They say they'll have to walk and chew gum at the same time. But in order to convict Trump, they'll have to have 17 Republicans vote along with them. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The president is also focused on getting his cabinet nominees confirmed, and one Hoosier is moving quickly to officially become part of President Biden's new cabinet. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg appeared before lawmakers today for his confirmation hearing to be Secretary of Transportation. He pledged to work with senators to carry out the administration's ambitious agenda to rebuild the nation's infrastructure, which says can help create new jobs and bring stability to the country.
I believe good transportation policy can play no less a role than making possible the American dream, getting people and goods to where they need to be, directly and indirectly creating good-paying jobs. But I also recognize that at their worst, misguided policies and missed opportunities in transportation can reinforce racial and economic inequality by dividing or isolating neighborhoods and undermining government's basic role of empowering Americans to thrive.
Buttigieg was introduced to the committee by another Hoosier, Republican Senator Todd Young. Buttigieg is a former rival of Biden's for the Democratic nomination for president. A Senate committee vote on his nomination could come as soon as next week. Alyssa.
We had a warm day today. Those temperatures about 20 degrees above average across the area. We hit a high right around 49 here in Indianapolis, 50s to the south, a little cooler to the north, and that's where we have that cooler Canadian air. That's going to impact us over the next couple days here. But I want to show you on our Weather Now cam that bright sky. We had that throughout the day, plenty of sunshine. That mixed with those warm temperatures as well as a westerly flow, some westerly winds out of the southwest today. That's what brought our temperatures so high. And now we are seeing those winds still rather strong out of the west, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. We are going to see those shift overnight and become more northerly. So temperatures are going to start their fall. Tonight, as you head out, temperatures will be in the 40s, dropping into the 30s. But by the morning, much colder. All of those details coming up.
The effort to curb gun violence in Indianapolis continues, and today we are learning more about a new prevention initiative. The city of Indianapolis will begin working with violence interrupters. They will be paid community members familiar with the city's hardest hit neighborhoods. Those interrupters will be tasked with building a relationship with people who have been or are likely to become involved in gun violence. The goal is to show them another way and provide resources like education and job opportunities. Leaders say they are taking a very strategic approach and working to connect with those who need it most.
We have about a list of 65 individuals in the city that are thought to be involved in violent incidences. And so it's targeted. We go to those people on that list, excuse me, and begin engaging them.
The interrupters will be contracted through the Indy Public Safety Foundation. Tonight at 6, you will hear from one of those violence interrupters about the impact they hope to make.
The gift of a book is a tool to combat the cycle of poverty. WRTV and the Scripps Howard Foundation are proud to support our community through the If You Give a Child a Book campaign, which promotes childhood literacy. WRTV's Lauren Casey stopped by South Elementary School in Martinsville today, where students got a big surprise. And we want to mention that due to the pandemic and safety precautions, we did not host a normal book fair for students inside the building, but we were still able to catch up with a few of them about the donation.
Really nice. I really like the fact that I now have more books to read at home.
Sophia Murrow is in the 3rd grade, and today is a special day at her school.
Thank you for donating the books. It really made me happy.
This past year, WRTV employees and our viewers teamed up to raise donations for the Scripps Howard Foundation's If You Give a Child a Book campaign. Our donations and yours combined to more than $15,000. So what does that amount of donations equal in terms of books? Well, it means we're donating 3,150 books to kids at South Elementary School in Martinsville and also Urban Act Academy in Indianapolis. That's more than 567,000 minutes of reading. And today, our efforts and yours are shown through the smiles under these masks here at South Elementary.
Recently, I've been reading an American Girl doll book called Meet Molly.
Olivia Jewett is only in 2nd grade, but hopes to share her big love of reading with others.
I feel really excited to read it to my little sister.
We know the need for literacy in books is great. That's why we came out here to Martinsville today, South Elementary School of Communications, to distribute books. Now they have a little more than 230 students, grades pre-K through 4th grade. It's a Title I school, and something they really focus on here is communications. They even have this TV studio set up inside their school.
It's a very exciting day. It was great to be able to go ahead and start distributing books today, to see the excitement on the students' faces.
Melody Meyer is the principal. She says being able to send books home with kids can help foster that love of reading, which is important in all aspects of their lives.
And then opening those bags and getting out and showing us which one they think might be their favorite and which one they want to read first. It was great to see that excitement.
And for 4th grader Quinn Thatcher, anyone can become a lover of reading.
Find a type of what kind of genre of book, like fiction, nonfiction. And just find one of those you like and then find a book that's in that category and then just start reading it.
Each student at South Elementary is getting 4 books. These are books that are brand new and they can take them home. We're also donating additional books to their classroom libraries.
Reading helps your brain, and it just helps you get new words right in your head.
Working for you in Martinsville, Lauren Casey, WRTV.
And again, we want to thank all of you in our community for coming alongside us in our effort to help improve literacy in Central Indiana. We can always use your help to reach more students in need. To donate, you can visit WRTV.com/giveabook.
Still ahead on WRTV, if the fear of needles is holding you back from getting a coronavirus vaccine, you are not alone. A doctor weighs in on conquering those fears. Coming up.
The painful wait for extended unemployment benefits, what's causing the delay, and how Indiana compares to its neighbors. Alyssa.
And we had a beautiful day today. Those temperatures well above average, but some changes moving in. Much colder temperatures in the forecast, especially Saturday morning. I'll have all the details coming up.
Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Like Americans across the country, many Hoosiers are still waiting to receive their extended unemployment benefits. And while the money should be flowing now, some have yet to see a dime. Consumer reporter John Matarese explains what's behind the delays so you don't waste your money.
Where's our money? That's what hundreds of tri-staters, most of them in Ohio, are asking about their extended unemployment benefits. The money should be on the way, but many have yet to see a dime. We're now 3 weeks into the new year and have a new president. But for some unemployed, like single mom Ashley Mason, the 15 weeks of extended benefits Congress approved just before New Year's has not yet shown up.
I'm beyond frustrated, and I'm worried, if I don't see this money soon, how am I going to pay for February's rent,
Amir Smith says his date keeps getting pushed back.
You should be paid on the 19th. Well, that's passed.
Why the delays? The new stimulus package does not simply extend last year's benefits. It requires states to recheck everyone's eligibility. That can take several weeks. The good news, Indiana is in better shape than many other states. But if you don't have your money, you may have to wait a couple more weeks. The good news is it'll be retroactive to January 1st, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, WRTV.
For days and weeks, we've been watching 2 huge lottery jackpots climb to massive amounts. Tonight, we are finally back to square one for Powerball. One winning ticket for last night's whopping $731 million jackpot was sold in an Appalachian coal mining community in Maryland. The ticket was purchased at Coney Market in Lunaconing, a remote corner of Maryland, where jobs are few and poverty runs deep. The Mega Millions jackpot is still on the rise. Friday's prize is $970 million. And now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. And Alyssa Donovan joins me in studio. And
We were just talking about it. It was just such a nice day.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful outside. I hope people got out. You said you were talking about going to the canal today. Did you get to go?
Absolutely.
All right. It was a great day to get out there, and a lot of people saw that, got outside, made the best of this beautiful weather that we had, going for a jog on the canal like Amanda did, walking their dogs. It was just a great day. Those temperatures were well above average, but don't get used to that because we are dropping off as we head through the 7-day forecast. Today was really the warmest day over the next 7 days at 49 degrees, just about 20 degrees above average. Usually we are in the 30s for our daytime highs. As we head over the next couple days, going to actually be into the 20s tomorrow. So a big swing on the way with those temperatures. Right now, 47 in Indianapolis, still plenty of sunshine, winds out of the west about 17 miles per hour. Now those are the sustained winds. We've also seen those wind gusts rather strong today, still in the 20s across the area, and we'll continue to see some strong wind gusts as we head overnight and into early tomorrow morning. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it feel a little chilly outside. So we've seen those winds throughout the day out of the west-southwest. That's helped usher in that warmer air. That mixed in with that sunshine is why we saw those temperatures above average, but now they are transitioning. They're coming from the north, so we're going to see cooler air settling in, which is going to take our temperatures way down. We're going to be in the 20s tomorrow morning, but it's actually going to feel more like 14, 15 degrees outside here in central Indiana, feeling more like the single digits tomorrow morning for areas to the north. So you're going to want that warmer jacket as you step outside tomorrow morning. And that's just the start of this cold Arctic air settling in. We'll see even cooler temperatures by Friday and into Saturday morning. Behind that, a chance of showers comes into the forecast. We're looking at mostly a rain chance, but we could see some snow mixed in there. That's all due to this system. That's going to hook up with some Gulf Stream moisture as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Most of the activity will come in late Sunday and into Monday morning. Could see some freezing rain with this system as well for your Monday morning commute. So looking at our weekend, 32 on Saturday. That's going to be our clear day, but still very chilly outside as we have that cooler air from the north. And then that chance of a mix comes in on Sunday. 37 degrees for the high. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, chilly out, 29 degrees for our high, and then we climb up a little bit as we head towards next week.
Thank you. Millions of Americans have a real fear of needles. Overcoming that is critical for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Allie Kramer with our Scripps station in Cincinnati talked with one doctor who is helping patients conquer those fears, and it could help you too.
Trypanophobia is the fear of needles, and it is one of the most common fears in the United States. Right now, it is truly causing some people to avoid getting the COVID-19 vaccination. For some, just knowing this video contains needles is enough to cause them a feeling of doom, dread, even paralyzing fear. Those who suffer from the actual phobia and not just the slight fear can't even think about getting a shot, even when it could protect them from a deadly virus. But there are people who can help, like Dr. Philip Hartman, who is a family practice physician with St. Elizabeth. He says something as small as closing your eyes the entire time can help, or repeating a mantra over and over helps shift your focus.
There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique for anxiety where you look around you and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you could feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you could taste. By doing that, you're engaging your senses in a way that doesn't focus on the anxiety-provoking item.
Dr. Hartman's favorite method is to take whatever you're afraid of and put it to the tune of Happy Birthday. It makes something that you fear feel more silly. But on a serious note, Dr. Hartman says, keep in mind, you're not choosing this needle versus the risk of no needles.
If you told me I could quickly have a needle stuck in my arm and removed, and I could keep my eyes closed for the whole thing if I wanted to, and I don't have to see it. Or if I end up hospitalized with this, I'm going to have needles in my arm the entire time. That's worth thinking about, that the benefit to risk ratio here weighs very heavy towards benefits.
Quite the choice there. That was Allie Kramer reporting in Cincinnati. She adds that Dr. Hartman says if you want to get the vaccine but fear the needle itself, to talk to your healthcare provider so together you can come up with a plan to help manage the fear, at least long enough to get the shot.
It seems like a pretty routine item to help stay warm, but one pair of mittens and its wearer are going viral. We'll meet the woman who provided Senator Bernie Sanders with the mittens seen around the world.
Keller and Keller.
A lot of fashion was on display during Wednesday's inauguration, from Lady Gaga's flowing red skirt and large gold pin to J-Lo's dazzling pants and coat to the coats and dresses worn by the First Lady and Vice President. It's always of great interest at these big events, but the one fashion statement probably generating the most buzz on social media: Senator Bernie Sanders' mittens. The Vermont senator arrived at the inauguration wearing his clutch mittens, handmade by a Vermont teacher who sent them to him after his first presidential run. He's now trending on Twitter, becoming a viral hit with countless memes and mentions online.
You know, in Vermont, we dress warm. We know something about the cold, and we're not so concerned about good fashion. We want to keep warm.
I gave those mittens to Bernie as a gift, just expecting nothing in return. And I think it's beautiful that they've gone so far. And I think it's wonderful that he represents Vermont in that way, that he brought a handcrafted item with him to this awesome historic day.
The mittens are made from repurposed wool sweaters sewn together and lined with fleece, made from recycled plastic bottles. Ellis used to sell them at craft fairs, but now only makes them as gifts for family and friends, and of course Bernie.
And of course Bernie. And meanwhile, more reaction to Sanders' fashion statement. The bobblehead is being created in his likeness, wearing his mittens and a mask. This is an image of what it will look like, and you've seen this all over social media, right?
The chair with it.
Right, the bobblehead with the chair. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame is now taking pre-orders. They cost $25 plus shipping, and they're expected to be available in May. And we just learned that Topps is making a baseball card of this moment. All right, I have Alyssa and Amanda checked off my Christmas list right now. Yes.
Thank you, Mark.
People looking for some guidance and help after losing a loved one to violence. The new hope tonight for grieving families. We've got that story all new at 6 p.m.
And planning for your financial future can seem daunting, but it does not have to be. Next at 5:30, how taking little steps can add up to big rewards.